Check. Alrighty, apologize for a little late start, but hey, again, technology kicking my butt. Technology's been whooping up on me, that's for sure. What's going on, big deal? What's happening, buddy? You hear me, see me? Am I glitching? Jay, what's happening, buddy? Hopefully I'm not glitching. Perfect. Perfect. Hopefully it stays that way. I've been checking my internet speeds all week, and I've been up 160, 170 megabits per second upload, so we should be good to go with that. If not, something's seriously wrong. But we should be good to go. We'll give people another minute or two to come in, and then I'll go ahead and do my thing, talk about shake and bake again just for a minute, and then we'll get into the chat. Let's see. Mike's asking me if I'm up. You know, technical difficulties kicking my rear end. Kicking my rear end left and right. Oh, don't tell me I'm starting to freeze. Oh, don't tell me I'm starting to freeze. Sorry, that was my phone coming back in. Sorry, that was. All right, hopefully it doesn't freeze up on me. But there's Wide Body Mike. Friday's the day. Friday's the big day. I think everybody in the chat's just as excited as you are. I'm going to try and be there, though, because I need some content, because if y'all saw the last video, oh, wait, no, the upcoming video tomorrow, y'all know I'm done racing until after the swap. So that's the big news for right now is I just, things are starting to nothing big, but little things are starting to get me again, and I just don't want a bunch of little things to hit me up. So I'm going to calm down, give the car a break until we do the swap. And then literally we do the swap the week of the 10th, and don't be a quitter fan. I hear you, Jay. Street tires are already on the car. Of course, I got to go to Chesapeake tomorrow, but street tires are already on the car. I think I'm done until the 10th. I could change my mind. That's a couple weeks away, so I could change my mind and look at doing something possibly next week. But we'll see. We'll see what my itchy trigger finger winds up feeling like. But you know how it is when you have 2 or 3 bad track days in a row. Yeah, something's telling you you might want to stop for right now. So I don't know. We'll see. And yes, weather dependent as well, Mike. You're 100% correct. So everything was canceled for this weekend. If you guys don't know, all the Modern Street Hemi Shootout's been canceled. I'm not sure if they canceled the Battle of the Brands, but I'm not going to go to that either. I'm doing good, buddy. How are you? I'm not even going to try and say any of that, but I'm doing good. hopefully you're doing well too. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill. I think, for the most part, I think I'm gonna wind up chilling until the 10th. That's gonna be a big day. Oh, they moved the Battle of Brands to November, so they moved that as well from Sunday. So nothing going on at Cecil this weekend, unless they try and fill it with a test and tune possibly on Sunday. But the way the weather looks, it's supposed to rain all weekend. So good. Hey, what's up, RT? What's going on, buddy? RT 345. Yeah, boy. Yes, sir. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're all starting to come around. Wide Body Mike hits the dyno this weekend. I do the swap the week of the 10th and got a tentative date with Dave on the 17th to get Shake and Bake back on the dyno after the updates and the upgrades. We'll just see. We'll see. All right, good. Sounds good, man. RT, that's awesome, buddy. All right, I'm gonna hit the middle name. Sing. Go ahead, buddy. Shoot your questions. We've got a multitude of folks with a lot of experience. RT345, he's got experience. Wide Body Mike, he's been doing this for ages. Three Pedal J, he's been in the game for a long time. So you've got a lot of experience, a lot of smarts that can help you out with your mods. So go ahead, shoot your question, and if I can't answer it, Mike J 345, one of those guys, absolutely will. But now, if it gets too technical, I'm not a technical guy. I try and tell everybody this. I haven't said it in a while, so I'm not a mechanic, I'm not an engine builder, and I'm not a tuner. So if you go down in any of those weeds too far, I'm gonna let you know I don't know, because I'm not afraid to tell you I don't know something, because I'm not gonna feed you any wrong information. So with that being said, go ahead, shoot your question, and you'll get numerous opinions. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're a little different, but you'll get a lot of information, a lot of opinions from guys that got a lot of experience. All right, Timothy, you know the deal, man. Give her the moon tune. Who cares about finances? Moon tune all the way. You got it, RT345. That's what it's all about, man. Helping each other out along the journey, and try and help you out so you don't spend money twice, and hopefully don't blow your engine up. But there's no guarantees. Once you start modding your car, there's no guarantees your engine's not gonna blow up. So if you get some advice in here and you take it, and you take it for what it's worth, but you're doing it on your own, you're taking your own chances, there's always a possibility something can go wrong. Z, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for chiming in, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. I've made many of them, and they're all in my videos from when I started doing my videos. I made some mistakes before I started making videos, but yeah. Sometimes you just have to learn from mistakes. Sometimes you go out on your own. No matter what advice you get, you go out on your own, you make your own mistakes. Sometimes you got to learn that way. All right, great. So I got catless and MBRP catback straight pipes, and any opinion for the best tuner to go with. So it depends where you're at, and depends what kind of tuner you want to do. So if you want to go to a dyno, you have to let me know where you're at. If you want to email tune, there's a few good email tuners out there. That's Mistakes give you knowledge, that's for sure. Oh, you're waiting on the additive, man. That's crazy. So sing, yeah. Tell me if you want a dyno tune. Tell me where you're at, and if I know anyone or someone in the chat knows anyone, they can let you know where to get a good dyno tune. But if you're looking for email tuning, I got a few guys. Everybody's got a few guys that are good email tuners. Jay, nothing ever goes wrong when modding. No one ever blows up 3 motors 3 different ways. Right on, Jay. A10 does Hemi. Yes. 6.1 crack. I don't know about crack, but yes, the 5.7 does take the 6.1 crank. You do have to change the reluctor wheel. And Jay, correct me if I'm wrong. You got to have the 58 tooth reluctor wheel. What year is your 5.7 A10? That's the first question. What year is your 5.7 that you're putting the crank into? Toronto, Canada. I don't know any shops in Canada, unfortunately. So I don't, like I said, I don't know any shops in Canada. So I don't know. Maybe one of the guys in the chat knows a good one in Canada. I unfortunately don't. But if you want to go with an email tuner, my tuner, Dave Katz at EFI Specialties, is a good one. Jay Green is also a good one. I would say as long as you're NA and you're not doing too many mods, email tuning is fine. Once you get too many mods and a blower, then you're going to want a dyno tune. But there's a couple guys out there. 2013 Charger. All right, so Jay, help me out with the non VVT. I think the 6.1 crank is a direct replacement. I think from the 2013. Because I have a 6.1 crank in my forged engine that I'm about to put in, but it's a VVT engine, so like Jay said, I had to get the spacer. So pre-eagle, it drops right in. All right, so A10, it'll drop right in your 5.7, and you're good to go. Because that's the route I went to forge my bottom end instead of when I started forging my bottom end, the 5.7, the forged 5.7 cranks were ridiculous. They were like $2,000, $2,200. They were super expensive. So I just found a 6.1 crank for $600, which was pretty cheap, actually, really cheap. Found a really good 6.1 crank that I threw in mine. All right. Hey, Ant, what's happening, buddy? Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. All right, Brandon, you gonna put that old water meth in there? It's a good idea. It'll definitely help with detonation for sure, especially if you don't tune for it. So wide body Mike will tell you, don't tune for the meth injection because for whatever reason, if you wind up running out and you're tuned for it, it's bad news. But if you're not tuned for it and you're just using it to stave off detonation and you're not tuned for it, if you run out, it's not a big deal. Yes, water meth can raise your octane. You can add fuel. You can add timing. But again, if you do that, and if you don't have a way to let you know that you're running out of the boost juice, then you're taking a big risk. Is all I'm saying. And Mike will tell you the same thing. Hemi 31, Eric Storms has a few folks up that way. Okay, there you go. Uh, I know, Jay. Look who shows up, right? So Sing, what year is your car again? I'm going back up to look. Yes, you are going to have to, for a 22, you're going to have to get it unlocked. You cannot flash. If you try and flash it, you could brick your PCM and then you're in trouble. You got to buy a whole new PCM. So don't try and flash a tune on your car until you get it unlocked. So then you need to make the decision, are you going to go Diablo or are you going to go HP tuners? Because they are no longer compatible. You can't switch back and forth on the same unlock. So if you go Diablo and you're like, well, I hate Diablo, I want to go HP tuners, you got to send your PCM back out to get unlocked by HP tuners. So make sure whichever way you go, make sure that's the route you want to go. So it goes back to spending that money twice. I was lucky, so I had mine unlocked 5 years ago, and 5 years ago, you can switch because of the way they unlock the PCM. You could switch between Diablo and HP, so I can switch back and forth. But unfortunately, nowadays, it's no longer like that. Each one has their own proprietary way of unlocking PCMs, so you have to choose one. The gang is literally all here. That's for sure. But like I said, saying no, flashing your PCM or trying to flash your PCM is a bad idea until you get it unlocked. Wow, if you seen for 650, that's pretty cheap. Brandon, should I run VP Racing 50/50, water meth, or 20/80? That's a good question for Mike. I know he used to run water meth. I haven't run water meth, so I'm not sure. Uh, yep, Ant's telling you 2015, you got to get it unlocked. So Sing, you have to get it unlocked. And yes, Mike's got a good point too. We forgot about the bypass cable. So I think it's 2018 and newer. You need to buy the bypass cable as well. 2013 crank to use the 6.1. You'll need a 58 tooth reluctor wheel with the 132 spacing, not the 170. So anything from a 6.4 that is 13 or later, or an aftermarket one. All right, there you go. 810. What is your highest RPM? I did 6,200. So my shifts, well, actually, my 1, 2, 2, 3, Dave's tuning them in earlier to try and help things out a little bit. But I'm shifting it like 65, 6,600 RPMs. Yes, Jay, that's a good word of advice right there. Get everything balanced if you change reluctor wheels. 100%. I mean, even if you got the 6.1 crank, and I would make sure you get everything balanced. That's my recommendation. No matter what, I don't care what you do. You crack open your engine and you put new pistons, rods, and crank in it. Get it balanced, just for safety's sake. It's a couple $100. I would rather save a couple $100 than spend thousands when stuff starts breaking and breaking. No saying it's a different bypass cable for HP tuners. And Diablo, I'm not sure if you need a bypass for Diablo or not. I'm not sure. But the bypass for the taser, that's totally separate. Confused between HP tuners and Diablo tuners. It's basically two different companies, two different sets of hardware, two different ways of doing things, but same result, right? Arguably, when you get up into the high horsepower, HP tuners is a little bit better. You got a little bit more things you can do with HP tuners than Diablo, from what I understand. But they're just two different ways of tuning your car, two different companies who now, like I said, now do two different unlocking mechanisms, and you can't switch back and forth. So Diablo is nice because it's contained in either the i3 or the T2. All right, the T2 is touchscreen, so it's super easy. HP tuners, you're going to need a separate laptop to tune and log for your car. Where Diablo, if you buy the T2 or the i3, you can do it right on their little device. You don't need a laptop. But HP tuners, you're going to need a laptop. So that's basically the difference. There are some folks that prefer one over the other. So you may want to pick a tuner first and then ask them which one they prefer, HP tuners or Diablo. And Mike's got a point. most do HP tuners, and the reason for that is because the software is basically free. Diablo makes you is the CMR is expensive for one thing, and two, you literally have to be a company to be able to get the software. Tim, HP equals Snap-on Mac and Mac Diablo equals Craftsman and Cobalt. All right, man. All right. I love the analogy, though. I love it. All right, Ed. I appreciate you chiming in, brother. That's, I guess that's kind of the point I was getting at. RT 345. You said it much more eloquently than I did. HP tuners, you got to know what you're doing, and you got to have a laptop. Diablo is definitely, if you're new to the tuning scene, is definitely more user friendly to a new person. Yep, you got to get that. Saying you have to get it unlocked, and you're going to need the bypass if you go HP tuners. I'm not sure what you need for Diablo. You'd have to double check if you go Diablo to see exactly what you need for the newer vehicles. Jay, new PCM suck for real. Yep. Yes, sir. I'm kind of glad I got a 16. So I don't need that. I don't need the bypass. I can just plug mine into the ODB2 port and be good. Yeah, Mike, that's kind of what we were getting at. It's just easier for a newer person with Diablo. Though HP tuners is not hard to learn, especially if you're only logging and sending your logs to your tuner. It's easy. It's just you need a laptop on top of the tuning hardware that HP sends you. Where Diablo, you can do it all within the Trinity. Download it to your laptop and then send it off. So you still need a computer with Diablo. It's just you got to download it from the Trinity or the i3 to your computer, and then you can email it to your tuner. Oh, if you do N2 speed, it works for both. There you go. Diff brace will give you definitely peace of mind. I've had the basic performance, uh, their basic one for the longest time. Literally, I just changed it last weekend. Last week, I changed to the DURS. So a diff brace will definitely give you some peace of mind, especially when you get up into the higher horsepower. Yes, Mike, that's why he loves Holly. All right, Sing, you got a guy for both brands. So yeah, pick your poison. Pick a tuner, find a tuner. Um, I gave you a couple email tuners. Dave does email tuning. My tuner, Jay Green is a good one. Hemi Fever is another good one people use for email tuning. So there's a number of email tuners out there. Just do some of your own research, and then pick one, and then ask them which, like I said, which brand they prefer. Best juice for water meth is Snow Boost juice. Yeah, Tim, that's for sure, man. Fuel Tech and Haltech definitely aren't big into the Gen 3 Hemis at all, right? So yeah, you literally got to wire those bad boys in, where Holly, you can buy the harness, the Hemi harness to put on there. Yeah. And Fuel Tech and Haltech, they're a little bit more expensive too. Any feedback for HP or Diablo? Like I said, uh, uh, from your perspective, you're not going to be doing any tuning. Saying so, if you're not tuning your car, Diablo is a little easier on newer people, because it's all contained within the device. Whether you get an i3 or a Trinity, I suggest getting the Trinity because it's a whole lot easier, and it's just touchscreen. Um, but I would find a tuner, find your tuner, and then ask your tuner which one he wants to tune on. Yeah, I agree, Mike. But there are some tuners that want to use Diablo. So saying again, I've said it 50 times. Ask your tuner, and he'll tell you which one he wants to use. Oh, Jay, I didn't know you was using Fuel Tech. Awesome. I agree, Tim. They definitely could be doing more for the platform. Movie Man, any thoughts on the missing sub that was there to look for the Titanic wreck? I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. Maybe that's on the Mopar. Yeah, Tim, I don't know. I don't know why. Why they don't support the Hemis as much. Yeah, Jay, but you just can't buy CMR though. Well, I'll say from Diablo, you can't buy CMR because you have to be a company. From what I understand, of course, I'm going back a few years since I've been on Diablo, but for to buy CMR, you have to be a company. Yeah, Mike, that's kind of crazy, man. But I'm sorry, Move Man. I hadn't seen anything about the sub in the Titanic. I'm sorry. But that dad that killed his three kids, that's ridiculous, man. He just lined them up and executed them, man. That's terrible. Terrible. Yeah, Jay, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. That is true. Ant's broken three diffs. And he's got the DERs too, so you can still break your diff. All right, Tim's talking about fuel tech. All right, thanks, Sing. I appreciate you chiming in, buddy. Hopefully, we answered your question, and hopefully, you follow the advice, and yeah, hopefully, you have a good experience. Tim Charles, terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, RT. It was matter of fact, Mike put it in our chat, and I was like, man, that's just ludicrous, man. What man, what people can do is just it's incredible. It really is. And you just never know, man. Your neighbor could be one of them whacked out, be normal as normal can be, but be one of those whacked out psycho killers. you just never know. Brandon, thoughts on Holley EFI smart coil pack? Are they worth it? You have to buy the coils, wiring, and ECU just for it to work. Would be over 1K just to run them. To be honest, the coil packs, from everyone that I've talked to, the stock coil packs are fine to over 1,000 horsepower. So there's a lot of claims with coil packs out there. I actually bought RIP superchargers, their performance coil packs. I have them on shake and bake. Did they make a difference? I really don't think so. Maybe the car was a little punchier, but not significantly so. But dyno, I didn't really feel anything. That's all I got to say. So I don't know about Holley EFI smart coil packs. If you got to go the wiring and the ECU and all of that, so I'm guessing if you're buying Holley's ECU, then you got to find someone that tunes on Holley to tune your car after that. Wow, that's crazy. It is it is crazy. 345. Anyone know any Hellcats running a Maggie 2650? I'm getting the itch. And I don't think I know anybody, to be honest. I don't know. Mike, Holley coil smart coils are meant for the Terminator ECU lineup. Interesting. And the guy in Florida had that Maggie in 2020 in the 8s from Gearhead. Ouch. FF Boss, the B5 blue one. And now it has an orange Challenger in the and now it has an orange Challenger in the 7s, man. Woo, that's smoking. So Jay's saying the smart coils are for people that are all out racers. That's true, Jay. Yes, Luke does run a Maggie on his car. But he does more, if I'm not mistaken, he does more road course stuff. I don't think he does drag strip stuff. Right? That's just me thinking off the top of my head. If I remember correctly. So Chris Bailey runs a Maggie too. Interesting. I know you really don't hear too much about the Magnuson superchargers. Brandon, oh wait, by the way, HHP tensioner me and you bought has a 50-pound spring, same as the American Racing Solution. Also, the HHP can be ran on an 8 rib belt. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, it is. It is pretty wide because I can see where my 6 rib, is kind of cleaned it off, and there's probably plenty enough room for an 8 rib. Yeah, I know that spring is stout. Changing belts isn't fun. That's for sure. Okay, Jay, I got you, brother. Love that juice. Yeah, boy. Love the juice. I got a full bottle just waiting in the garage for later. For later, hopefully. But Mike, hopefully, hopefully I'll make it down for Helby's Dino stuff. I definitely want to. I definitely want to be there. It's just there's a few things going on, a few more things going on Friday, but I'm gonna try and make it down there for at least a little while. For later. Yeah, boy. But yeah, it's starting to get hot. Really is. Weather is starting to get hot, so racing is going to be a little iffy until we get the water to air in a cooler. That'll help quite a bit. Hopefully, keep us a little bit more consistent in the heat. Vice running the higher tens, and we stay in the lower tens. Yeah, Mike, I may wind up going with that tensioner in the future. Definitely not now. I got way too much wrapped up in the engine swap right now. Yeah, I'm waiting for the cam to come in. That's gonna be the new cam is gonna be awesome. I think. Like I said in the chat, I told when MMX called me and asked me, he asked me all about the build and what I wanted, and I said, look, primarily I want performance, but if a little chop 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 is in there, I'm good with that too. I'm good with that too. So it'll be interesting to see when the cam shows up, we get it in and start her up for the first time. What she's going to wind up sounding like. And I'm looking at going catless. That's another thing I'm looking at doing. So literally, practically, for all intents purposes, a race car. It's a street car because it's licensed and insured. Yeah, that bill of tensioner is pretty awesome. I did say it. I said race car. I did say it. Yeah, it's definitely going to be loud. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, not all of us are ballers like you, Mike. We're not balling out a whole low eight race car. That's true, Jay. That's a good point. Definitely less drag. How much horsepower? You know, couple probably, but uh, I, I get it. There's a lot of things out there that are worth every penny. 100%. I get it. But but there are some budgets out there. My kid is grown, but he's not out of the house. He's back. So kids are like freaking boomerangs, man. They leave and then they wind up coming back. I get you, Jay. I get you. But I'm kind of with Brandon on this one. Not necessarily cheaping out, but it's been doing the job so far. Hashtag streetcar, license and insurance. License, insurance, and I still pass the ODB2 smog test. Streetcar. Streetcar. I have air conditioning and heat. How much further we got to go for a streetcar, guys? Hey, I got street tires on the car now. It's got to be a streetcar, right? Yeah, I'm starting to think my O2s are starting to go a little wonky. I may have to pick up some I may have to pick up some O2 sensors. Yeah, see? I still got all four O2s. Streetcar. Streetcar. I'm still on the stock bottom end. It has to be a streetcar, right? Y'all realize I'm just trying to convince myself that Shake and Bake is still a streetcar, right? But yeah, I really do. I need to get up under there and check those O2s because I'm sure they're probably pretty nasty. They've been on there for a while. I got you, RT345. You know what? I went and got groceries in Shake and Bake this morning. Now I had to stop by Fort Meade and get some E85, but I went and got groceries with the car this morning. What more do I have to say? Shake and Bake is a streetcar. Shake and Bake's a grocery getter. You're right, Jay. I don't drive, like I said last week, I believe, or maybe it's on the video. I definitely don't. Z, definitely comedy hour. Yeah, I definitely don't drive her as much as I used to, but I still, like I said, I picked up groceries this morning. If you want, I can pick up your kids and take them to soccer practice. Soccer mom car. How about that? All right, getting the Flex Seal kit. Sweet. Yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, 345. No problem, buddy. Like I said, it's guaranteed on my gauge, it's guaranteed the lowest I've ever seen it is like 78.5, 78.6 is the lowest I've ever seen it. Other than that, it's always been 79.80 every time I go there. Hey Jay, if you need me to pick up your kids and take them to soccer practice, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? The kids would definitely love it. That's for sure. I remember he was wide eyed and bushy tailed when I took him for when I brought him to the house that day when we brought the block to the house. He was having a blast, man. He was loving it. Yeah, Jay, you know the deal. I made a whole video with him in there. I made a whole video with him. Yeah, he was definitely into it. That's for sure. Excuse me. Ooh, an RT345. That's constant. Summer, fall, winter, spring doesn't change. So all that winter blend bull crap you get from the Royal Farms and the sheets, the highs, you don't get that at Fort Meade, man. It's 79.80. 79.80 the entire time. Matter of fact, I may have to get some junky 85 to put in the car before Dave tunes it, so it's a little lower. Because when he first did shake and bake on E85, I was at 75%. I constantly be there. Yep, that's the go-to spot. Definitely the go-to spot. Now you may find, some of the other places now that it's summertime, they may start having the summer blend, which is some of the places will have really good E85 too, but then you got to test it and check it and all that to make sure it's good. That's why I just go to Fort Meade. But there are other places, at least in the summertime, you can get good E85. There's a place out in Annapolis, on Westgate. Uh, in the summer, they have good E85. Harris Teeter and Dunkirk, they have good E85 in the summer. So there's other places, but I don't want to mess around. I just go to Fort Meade and I use the same stuff. I use the same stuff all the time. Yeah. Uh, Jay, so people will test E85 at Fort Meade and say it's like 85, 87 and a half. I don't know if it's just my gauge, but like I said, it's never it. I've hit 81 at Fort Meade, but never much more than that. I'm just excited to see the numbers. Yeah, buddy. All right, Brandon. Have a good, safe day at work, buddy. RT, who's doing your tuning? Who's doing your dyno tune? All right, night, Brandon.